Noey. And we're off. Off to the races. Oh my gosh. You. Noey. Noey. You are just too cute. Oh my gosh. You just got dipped in a vat full of cute syrup. Tapped a cute tree up in Vermont. Hi. Which is, of course, the maple syrup capital of the United States. We're very far, as far as our national production of maple syrup is concerned, we're woefully behind Canada. But we have actually increased our maple syrup production in the United States approximately 240% in the last 10 to 15 years. I think 10 to 15, maybe the last 15 to 20 years. But it is, I'm not, these are actual, these are actual facts, by the way. Someone was watching videos on how to make maple syrup. Hi, Bags. Hi. Look at you, pretty girl. See, that's, you know, Baggy doesn't have, whoa, look at, what'd you find? Look at that thing. What kind of caterpillar is that? Man, that thing is just it's a monster. It's a tank. Watch out, Baggy. That thing will eat you. Jeepers creeps. But yeah, I was looking at different, look at baby pokes. They're already coming back. This was not here just a couple weeks ago. Look how fast they grow. Hi. Pretty girl. I was looking up videos on different ways that you can do like pasta bakes, but on the grill. Oh, two dudes on a motorcycle, just driving down the road and just, I don't know, they were having an animated conversation with each other, and they didn't, it's like, they weren't even, they weren't even sitting there like saying just like, it's attack, but it's like they were talking, I don't know, they were talking about their own thing. They were just, they were vibing. They were just vibing. So that's all right. But yeah, that was something. That was something. Anyway, I was watching videos about how to make like pasta bakes, but make them on the grill. So, you know, you got the charcoal, you got the smoky flavor, you got your wood chips, all that fun stuff. Make pasta bake. And I was just looking up videos. And then from there, I can't even remember like what it is or why it is, but I then started to, like, I asked myself, like, oh, you know what? Like, how do you make, and this is going to be a stupid question, but it's like, how do you make sea salt? And I know that it's like, you know, you just get water from the ocean and then you evaporate it. But I'm like, well, let me actually take a look, because I'm sure there's maybe a little bit more to it than that. And there is. I guess it's like seawater has something like a 3% salt kind of, so, or what is it? Not 3%. Maybe I'm thinking of that. Maybe I'm getting my salt and my maple syrup mixed up. Oh my gosh. That always happens to me. Doesn't that happen to you when you go to, you know, put some syrup on your pancakes, and then all of a sudden just a bunch of just white powder comes out, and you're like, oh, not again. That happens. But anyway, basically it's like I think it's like, oh crap, what is it, in order for the salt to crystallize, in order for it to actually, you have to like increase the concentration of the solution, so to speak. So basically you'll evaporate salt water, and then you have to keep adding more salt water to it, and it actually creates a more concentrated saltwater mix. And then eventually the actual physical salt will start to appear more. Hi, look at that. But yeah, there's like different kind of boiling. And then I started seeing like, oh my gosh, different like traditional methods where they're adding different types of sand to the actual seawater. There's like a place over in Japan that they've been making sea salt for like 400 years. And then there's like different mineral elements that happen. And I'm like, this is way more complicated than I ever thought it would have been. Watched a video of just an Australian guy. He's like an old, like 70-year-old guy. And he's like, hey, stay here in my boat. I'm out here in my boat. Go, couple liters of water. 30 miles out. This is where the water's cleaner. And we're gonna make some sea salt. They're gonna get there. And so you get it in the pan, and you can tell his wife is holding the, camera. Go put it on the banner there, and you gotta sit there and just mash it about, and put it in the oven. It was fun. Why am I telling? I don't know. Maybe if I run out of things to talk about, is this it? And then from there, I started looking at like, oh, how are other things made? And then the YouTube algorithm was recommending like, hey, if you like salt, maybe you like maple syrup. And I'm like, I've seen things about maple syrup before, but I could always use a refresher. So I started watching those. Yeah, learning more about that. So like the factoids that I was spouting out probably sound like I was just kind of making them up at the time, but no, they're horse leg. But they're actually actual. The maple syrup production in the United States, I guess the maple syrup economy has grown like over 200% in the United States in the last like decade-ish period of time. So that's why I was saying like, all right, Canada, you may have the maple crown for now, but we're coming for you. We're coming for you. We got trees too. We've got spigots and hammers. You think you're the only one with spigots and hammers? No, you're not. We have those as well. How many like, so just, that's of course the Canadians invented that. Maple, just some drunk guy just with a hammer, and just a wine cork thing. Just going out there, it's like, I'm just gonna smack this into a bunch of trees, don't you? Eh? Don't you know? He had probably like 17 Labatt Blues. He's like, oh, Dale's out there in the woods. Again. I'm gonna fight. And then, this is also another thing. It's like the trees. Oh, there's a tree. Of course, like a tapping season. Hi. Hello. Are you going to get mean? Sound like you're going to get mean. He says, no, thank you. What? What? Hey. Look at him. Look at him. He's confused. He's like, I'm not sure what I should do. I'm not really sure what I should do right now, but all I know is I need to I'm uncomfortable with you being right next to. What? What? You've already eaten so much of that. You've already eaten so much of that. You don't gotta be that way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Praise be. Praise be. Anyway, Dale's out there. He's just hammering into oak trees and buckeye trees and elm trees. He just hates them. Just can't stay. He has 17 Labatt Blues, goes out there with his hammer and his spigot. He's been doing this for like the last 7 years. That's like ever since his wife left him. Dale's just been on a tear. And he hadn't been having the best time. Lo and behold, you know, like late February, like one of those suckers started actually, you know, some slightly sweetish, brownish kind of liquid started coming out, and he just put it into a pan and boiled it, and now we put it on our pancakes. So thanks, Dale. But yeah, his name was Dale LaPetite. He was the inventor of maple syrup. So that's a, yeah. All right, that may have been different. Hi, bud. I'm sorry. Hey, you back here now? You know, back here. There you go. There, pets, a bunch of them. Everyone's just sitting there saying like, oh, pet baggies. Yeah, here. We'll do a bunch now. Save them up for later. And hey. Hi. Hi. How are you? You like your hay? Yeah? Yeah. That makes her feel good. I've also got a little mattress. Maybe he doesn't like the mattress. He's kind of in a weird mood right now. And of course, people, you know, they read into stuff like that. And they're like, oh my God, pray for God. It's like, look, he might have like a thing, like a tummy ache, literally. Or he could just like have a, you know, some sort of joint thing going on. I know that a lot of people, they saw Cassie wobbling. Yeah, they saw Cassie wobbling on one of the last webcasts from last week. And they're like, oh my gosh, we gotta light candles, have a vigil. It's like, look, these animals are old. They're old. They get old. And then, you know, they have their days. It's one of the reasons why, you know, these guys are getting, yeah, cushiony stuff. It's going to get a little bit chillier, not for the next few days. It's actually still in the 90s next few days, but next into this week, in a few days, where the high temperatures are going to be 60 degrees. Oh my gosh. I don't know, low temperatures are going to be in the 40s. That's going to be, it's like frigid. Everyone in the country left their freezers open. Someone go check on Dale. Hi, Sass. But yeah, I mean, she's still squeaky, she's still sweet, and she's old. And she's old. That's just what it is. And someday, hopefully not for a while, but someday, even Cassie, who everyone loves, ain't gonna be here no more. That's just how things go. That's just how things go. As long as she is here, we're gonna love her and love her. And even if she gets just wobbly and senile, you know, talking to birds and yelling at interns, We're still gonna love her. It's fine. It's fine. Isn't that right? Hey, thanks. People, you know, you see these animals, like, what's wrong with them? And it's like, normal biologic process. Life. That's life. Life is happening. Life is happening. That's just what it is. Hey. Back to you. Back to you. There we go. A little piece of chicken. If he feels. If I can win him over. You are just springy. You're springy. Well, yeah, after I get done filming, I'll go talk to Heidi and go talk to Des and be like, yeah, Milo seems a little bit kind of odd. And then we'll talk about, like, okay, well, when's the last time we saw him being a certain way and something like this? And then you start putting pieces together and, you know, just overall kind of, you know, like wellness conversations of that nature. And then, yeah, that's just how that goes. And then it's like, again, environment got changed. It could be a lot of different things. He could just be, he could have a tummy ache. He could feel pissed. Maybe maybe his back is not feeling good. Oh, look at this. Look at this cutie patootie. Considering that he ate a piece of chicken and another piece before I was filming that rules out like a number of different things. Look at that. There's this boy with the carcass. Just cuteness and carnage right next to each other. Yeah, I don't want to play with that no more. Maybe, I don't know. Could, possibly. And of course, you know, like to anticipate the comments, like, please let us know about that. It's like, we'll let you know. We'll let you know when we think that we know something, or if there even is a thing, because it might just be a cranky old man. It literally might be just a cranky old man pouting. Like, that's, you know, that's the other thing. Like, people will send emails too. They send emails like saying just like, well, based on my webcast, and then they kind of like pick apart like all of like CARE's procedures, and it's like, you are seeing, you know, like these 15 to 25 minute clips, very specifically filmed, and like it's not going to necessarily encapsulate every single like bit and element. And a lot of people do, like they say, they kind of make the mistake of thinking like, well, I have a very good and fundamental understanding of the structure of this facility's operation based off of Derek's silly videos. And it's like, nah, you kind of don't. You kind of don't. You do, but you don't. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to put people down. I'm not trying to sit there and say like, you don't know anything about me. No, you do. You guys, like, trust me, if you watch webcasts regularly, you definitely know a very significant amount of just how it is that we do things. But then also, like, I guess people will sit there and they'll base like what, like this little slice, and they'll just like extrapolate that over the whole thing. And they'll be like, well, this cat was acting this way. This means that this cat must be like this all the time. And this thing is happening right here. This means that this is a phenomenon that, or the absence of something. Like, oh, I didn't see this thing in Derek's webcast, therefore it means that you don't do this critical thing. And it's like, we do that every day. Like, whoa. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, you know, like, our current intern, Gabby, she was watering, and you got to see that. But just so you know, anytime that like there's not been watering showcased in that webcast means that we obviously didn't water that day. That's what that means. So people, they connect a lot of dots, because again, it's like, as we are very transparent, we talk we give updates and we let folks know, And you do get some pretty solid insights about the facility's, well, operation from watching these videos. But please don't make the mistake of thinking that, like, that automatically means that, like, oh, that's the full spectrum, that's the full picture. It's not. It's not. It's not. Whoa, whoa. So yeah, we're gonna look after Milo. He just recently had, you know, his checkups, his vet visits and everything, because he's been having difficulties kind of getting up and down on platforms. He's getting old, and come to find out with CT scans that he had like increased calcification on some of his joints. So he may have, like, that may be one of those things where he may have gone down. It's like, it literally could be something simple like that, where he like went to go take a nap, and then he's an old man and he's like, I slept wrong, and then he's just kind of like in a kind of like that. It could be something as simple as that. It's like, I'm cranky, but I'll have chicken. Okay. It's literally, so we're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna discuss him. We're gonna have, you know, enhanced watching. We're gonna monitor him more closely. Oh, I saw him over here. Oh, I saw him up and down. Oh, I saw that. And that's just how that's gonna be. When we think that you need to know anything, or because that's a lot of times where it's like, we're not going to sit there and say, not going to every single, he pooped. Like, he lifted a pee, he didn't lift a pee. It's like, there's a lot of times where it's like, well, you know, until we know something, there's no reason to really say anything. For a lot of different times. Because there's been different times where I've seen cats who basically had gas. They had bad gas. The equivalent of that. They had tummy aches. And then it's like, Urgh. And then, you know, it could have been really stupid to sit there and say, like, I think this cat is having a really rough time. Everyone, candlelight vigil time. Say your prayers. Say your prayers. And then, you know, 20 minutes later, after all the tweets and everything go out, basically the cat... And then they just hop up and they're just like, woo! And then, yeah, what's up? And then you're like, hey, false alarm guy. We're good. Yeah, he just pooped a lot. Yeah, he just needed to poop. Hi, I got Sarah with me. Hi. I was reviewing the webcast prior to it being posted, and as I was watching, I realized in that moment that there was a great example of the thing I was just talking about that I didn't say in the webcast itself, and it was a thing that actually happened recently with Solano. He started doing different kind of weird ear things, holding them down, and he's had cancer in the past, which thankfully was removed, and he was able to recover. It was years ago, but we've seen different cats, and particularly white tigers. They would get cancer. They'd get maybe like melanoma, like inside their ears. So we were actually starting to think that, oh no, maybe that's like a thing that's currently happening with him. And if that is the case, well, then our options are going to, of course, be significantly limited. We were having conversations about, you know, the possibility of having to, you know, put him to sleep, all that stuff. And contingent, of course, entirely on a vet examination. And Dr. Bill came, he took a look at him and said, like, all right, well, I mean, it could be some different things, but let's go ahead and see if we can try some different kind of ear medication, ear treatments, ear stuff like that. And lo and behold, it improved. It improved his ears. And I know that for some of the videos that I had posted around that time, I was basically engaging in like expectation management, where I was kind of setting the stage for a possibility, a potential, like, hey, you know, Solano, I don't know, just we don't know, but maybe just things, and just you know, say your prayers, all that kind of stuff. And then he got better. And when he got better, there were still a lot of people who were very understandably and very legitimately concerned. They were concerned about Solano, and they were like, is he going to be okay? And I felt just kind of like, yeah, he's fine. Sorry for, you know, getting people kind of worked up. So in that regard, it's like, it's very, I don't want to precarious, something like that, but we just have to be very careful about how it is that we present information when we may not necessarily ourselves like have like a full spectrum picture of what's going on. And that's another thing about, you know, a lot of times doing things like webcasting, is that I don't script these things. I don't prepare. I take my phone out into the compound and I just react to whatever is out there in my surroundings, and then also what pops into my head. So yeah, there's different things where, you know, you'll come across animals that might be behaving or acting a certain way, and it's like news to you, or it might be news to everyone. You might be, like, during that webcast moment, you might be picking up on something that's new information for all parties involved, and it can throw you off a little bit and be there's like, whoa, because then there's those little flag kind of things that get popped up while you're trying to do like an engaging webcast, and you're just like, and then of course you're sitting there thinking like, well, I don't want to scrap this whole thing and lose the magic of the maple syrup bit. So, you know, just a little bit of insight into that. All right, back to the cast. So, yeah. I'm only talking about this because here's the thing. I saw those comments about Cassie, and I know that Milo he's a little bit low energy. A little bit low energy Milo. And just in this webcast, people are like, hey, tell me about Milo, what's wrong? I'm like, let's just talk about it. We'll let you know. Anyway, hello all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Hi. Thanks for watching this episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Hashtag Dwarvis Award in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for all your big cat goodness. And if you want to learn more about the facility around me, you can always visit the website carerescuetexas.com for more information. And I'll see you next time. And yes, we'll let you know all about Mr. Cranky Lepter. Lepter. Yeah, he's still laying over there. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Morning update on Milo. He's decided to take up residence inside of his tire, but overall that's good news. It means he was able to get up on his own volition and be like, hey, I'm going to go hang out in this tire. So, you know, update. All right, he just got up. I'd like to see him actually moving, because then we have a better idea of like what's going on. And we're pretty well convinced that his back is hurting. His back is hurting. A lot of the treatment that Dr. Bill prescribed is just going to be a lot of pain management type stuff, a lot of medication. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give him meds, and hopefully he starts to feel a little bit better. But yeah, for the time being, he's just going to be kind of uncomfortable. Okay. And there he is peeing, which, you know, doesn't seem like much, but the fact that he is getting up to actually move around to pee, that's a good thing. Like cats that maybe are having a rough go of things. All right. Yeah, he looks a bit wobbly. Hey, he looks a little wobbly. Maybe if he was experiencing some inflammation, maybe it's gone down a bit. But anyway, what I was saying about cats that are in rough shape or having a bad time, like they'll just pee on themselves. So the fact that he's actually getting up and moving around to go and do that, that's a good sign. again, we're dealing with a geriatric animal that does have verified, diagnosed back issues. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So we have to constantly monitor, engage in pain management practices, and he's coming to get some water, and that's good. All right. It's important. I'm happy that I'm able to get some of this kind of footage, because I'm sure if I were to just leave it as like, all right, well, you know, Milo's just kind of, he's having a bad time. Anyway, see you later. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure people would like, no. But don't, here's the thing. It's not to sit there and say like, he looks tip top. I am, you know, not concerned. That's not at all how I feel, we feel. But, you know, this right here is certainly better. Oh, my radio. This right here is certainly better than the potential. What his behavior, I think the potential for what like certain elements and aspects of his behavior before were, you know, could suggest, based on years of experience and seeing cats go up and seeing cats go down. And then of course, like once they get to a certain age, if a cat just kind of goes down and starts acting funny, like you always have to think like, is this it? Is this it? Like that's always going to go through your head. Because I've seen, you know, and Heidi's seen and Destiny's seen like countless times where you get a cat that's geriatric, you get a cat that's old, they act a certain way, and then all of a sudden one day they're not acting the same way, and then that's like the cascading fall. And then other times they seem like they go down, and then you're like, oh no, is this it? And then they kind of get back up, and you're like, oh, I guess not. It's just how it is with these animals. It really is. I guess we only really kind of had to kind of talk, because yesterday morning, because Milo was up and he was eating and he was moving around, and Destiny was like, yeah, I fed him and all that stuff. So then by the time I was filming yesterday afternoon, he was kind of acting like down and weird and funny and looked like he was in kind of pain. So then it's just like, oh geez, like what's going on? So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.
Walk around the compound, stay 6 feet. Walk around the compound, walk around the compound, stay 6 feet.